G'day, I'm Doug Jackson from dougswordclock.com. I'm here today to show you how to apply the vinyl sheeting that I supply in my short form top kits to a sheet of acrylic. What we're going to do is we're going to produce a stencil which looks kind of like this. This is one of my random clock stencils with the minutes LEDs at the bottom. I hate those, but other people love them, that's okay. And we're going to successfully apply our vinyl to the acrylic. Now, when you purchase your acrylic, first, the materials that you'll need to apply the vinyl, you'll need some detergent mixed with water in a spray container. We use the wet application method, and the wet application method helps us make sure that there are no bubbles. If you try and apply this stuff dry, you'll go insane. It took me a whole pile of stencils being applied dry to figure out that that was not the answer. And all of the professional sign writers, they use wet application when they're applying vinyl anywhere. You'll need a small cloth, and in this case this is just some kitchen paper towel which has been folded up. You'll need something to act as a squeegee so that we can flatten the stencil out. In my case, I've just got a small piece of acrylic. I've got acrylic everywhere in the garage. And you'll need some sort of sharp knife. In my case, I use scalpels because that's what I've been using for years and years. You can also use a pair of tweezers, and we'll get to that later. Even though you can use tweezers for removing the excess letters from the stencil, you will still need a sharp knife in order to trim the stencil yourself. So, when I provide a stencil, they come as I'm just getting closer, they come as a sheet of essentially the widest masking tape that you'll ever see in the world, attached to a black vinyl sheet. And the vinyl sheet has this backing piece on it. It's very important not to remove the backing paper before you start doing anything, because it will attract dust and you'll have a really bad time. The stencils always have a label to tell you what way is up when you're applying them, so we'll use that shortly. When you purchase your acrylic sheet, it will come with some protective paper. The protective paper is really easy to just slide off. Just do it nice and slowly and gently. If you do it too fast, you'll find that it rips, and then you've just got to peel it some more. But if you take it easy and just do it nice and slow, see, it ripped there, that's okay. If you take it easy and do it nice and slowly, then it comes off without any issues at all. So here we go, stencil off. Into the bin. Now you'll end up with a little piece of, just dust and stuff on it, so just brush it off. Make sure that your working surface is nice and clean. Now this is my piece of melamine board that I use for drilling, all sorts of stuff. It's just here to protect my work surface, but it's also a nice, convenient, clean surface in order to apply the vinyl. So what we need to do is we need to get the top of the vinyl, the back, fold that off, fold that over in line with the black vinyl. Get our acrylic sheet, make sure it's nice and clean, put that down. Bind that up with the very top and just fold the masking tape edge over. And what the masking tape edge does is it holds the vinyl onto the sheet. Now we just have to point this up at some light so that we can see that the black vinyl is nice and centered on the acrylic. I've got a work light above my bench. If you do any hobby stuff, you'll have a work light above your bench too. So just look through the acrylic, make sure that you're against an edge. In my case, I'm offset a little bit, so I'll just slide it across. Really easy to fix. So I was across that way a little bit. We just want the vinyl to be nice and centered on the acrylic. That's all. There's nothing particularly scary about it. We just want it right. I didn't move far enough. That's okay. Third time lucky. And it is, as with all of these kinds of projects, if you expend a little bit of effort on them in the start, the end result is completely worthwhile. And to be honest, I love making the clocks. I love getting kits to people. It is a ton of fun. I love the feedback that I get, and it's worthwhile making them right. So there we go. The acrylic is now lined up. Sorry, the acrylic is lined up with our vinyl sheet. Let's get our kitchen towel. Spray that nice and liberally with our detergent and water. Give it an initial wipe just to remove any dust particles that may have ended up there. Give it a second spray to make it all nice and slippery. Then this is the cool bit. You grab hold of this flap, peel it up gently, and then roll that onto the acrylic. If I'd have known that when I was applying them at first, I would not be as grey as I am now. Grab your small squeegee and just squeegee down the surface, and then you'll get all the water will squirt out the edge. 2, 3, 4. And the idea with the squeegee is that we're just getting the excess water out from underneath the vinyl, and once the excess water's out, then the vinyl adhesive will apply. A little bit of water doesn't damage the adhesive at all. It still sticks just fine, but the water and detergent mix give us a tremendous opportunity to move the stencil and to squeegee the stencil without it being applied permanently, and without there being all of those frustrating air bubbles you used to have. There we go. Now, the next step is to remove the masking material from the top of the stencil. We start at the top right of the stencil. Because the letter E has these appendages effectively, there are these two flaps of vinyl. If we peel the masking tape in the same direction as the flaps, we'll tend to lift the flaps, and that's really frustrating. You've just got to be careful. If we peel the masking tape over the other side of the flaps, so that we're going from the top right down, that's the secret, top right down, then all of our E's, we won't have to sit there with a knife very carefully removing stuff so that we don't tear anything. But there we go. So we start in the top right, hold the vinyl down gently, keep sliding. Beautiful and simple and easy. Keep on sliding, and there we go. Biggest piece of masking tape in the world can go into the bin. Have a quick look at the stencil, make sure it's pretty good and dust free. Absolutely perfect. So there we go. So we've now got our, it's still a little bit wet, so things will stick onto the work surface. That'll dry off. So we now have our stencil. Can you resolve the letters in that?
How do I zoom again?
On the very top of the camera, sweetie. There. No, that's that. Yep, left and right of that one. Zoom in. The camera's being operated today by Megan. Maybe that worked.
Yep,
okay,
that did.
Let's zoom out again, and I'll show you the next step. So, as you can see from this stencil here, the words are formed by a void in the stencil, which is the letter which is being cut out. This is where patience and slowness is really worthwhile. You get your nice sharp blade, and being very careful not to cut fingers, gently slide it in underneath the edge of a letter, lift it out, you'll end up with the letter that can just go onto the bench. Alternatively, you can give the letters to your kids, and your kids can stick them onto the wall. So you just basically go through the stencil, weeding it out letter by letter. So I'll just do the first line so that you can see, because you probably would like to get on and start making your own clock instead of watching me make one. So we'll just weed the top line of the stencil, and then we'll show you when we're almost finished. There's one small step after this that I'll show you, just to help protect the vinyl. So we'll just get the word is, and we'll get the it. Some people have said that they would rather IT apostrophe s for it's. I like it is. We can change things, it's never ever an issue. So there's our top line. Hopefully you can see that very clearly. So now you'll notice that the stencil is, even with all of that mucking around, I didn't get it exactly on that edge. It doesn't matter, because what we're going to do now, you see how that's probably 1.5 mm to 2 mm. What we need to do is we just need to go through all of the edges and trim a couple of millimeters so that there's no way. See how if I run my finger across that edge, the top lifts. We never ever want that to happen. So what we do is we just grab a nice ruler, line it up along the top, scalpel again being very careful of fingers, gentle cut, and then we'll lift that out of the way. Now it is vinyl, it is delicate. If you start dropping drills on it and screwdrivers on it, then you're going to damage the face. So just treat it with care, and you'll find that once it's on a wall, it'll last until the end of time probably. I'm fully planning on my kids having my clocks when I'm not here. I don't see any reason at all why they wouldn't just stick around. There we go. So I've just removed the other edges. I'm not going to remove the rest of the stencil here on this video, but there we go. And you can see just how easy and simple it is to actually apply the acrylic. Now, to apply the vinyl. Now, I do provide 2 stencils in the kits, just in case you do have a mistake with the first one. Don't be afraid of it. It's not that scary to work with, and you can have a ton of fun. Okay guys, take care. Bye.